Okay, the first episode is terrible. I don't know who did the first episode. I think it's the budget was small, but and a lot of people actually haven't been able to get past the first episode. But the rest is just, it's one of those shows that pisses me off, but also excites me. It's great reality television. My name is Bree, and I'm going to be reacting to The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah, you know, the reason why I wear garments is when you go through the temple or when you get married.
I've actually never forgotten my garments. That
committed to God. Wearing them is supposed to be like a constant reminder for you daily. Everyone, wait, you didn't pack any? Well, I tried them last minute. Yeah. Because she knew that they were going to get struck down.
Okay, it's so annoying. You're going to get struck down. I mean, they know how to make TV gold, but so annoying.
Wait, did you bring underwear? No, I literally didn't bring anything.
Well, yeah, what's true about this clip is that people forget their garments. I personally have never forgot my garments. I have chosen to not wear them, but I've never forgotten them on a trip or anything like that because I prefer them. The struck down comment, I mean, obviously she's trying to be funny and, it is what it is, but is she gonna be struck down? No. Is it that big of a deal? No. It's not that big of a deal.
Starting to hit. Ooh.
Oh my gosh. I remember this.
Go, Whitney.
Whitney, Michaela, and Macy are fully active members, and I do think strong in the church, I just naturally gravitated toward them. I was planning on inviting everyone, but then everything that happened at the graduation party with Jesse drinking alcohol and Jordan drinking alcohol, I just didn't want to cause more drama. And, baby blessings are so sacred and so special. And, you do have to set that boundary. And Zach's not close to Jordan or Jesse.
So are you going to invite them then or no?
I mean, what would you do? Would you invite everyone?
What would Jesus do?
Would you invite Taylor?
No. I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah. Okay, should I feel bad for not? I don't know.
With Whitney as the current leader of Mom Talk, maybe she should try and bring us all closer together instead of encouraging.
This is an interesting topic because I am a believer in inviting everybody. Literally, my wedding was I wanted to fill the ceiling room and my wedding. My husband, on the other hand, is not one to invite everybody. And so this is I think a personal preference over necessarily what they're doing, right? Just not a good representation of the church as a whole. It's a representation of this one person and who she's choosing to invite and not invite and why and her reasonings. But I mean, I've had people in my baby blessing circles that don't attend church anymore. And I most likely are doing things that they're not supposed to, but I don't care. They can come in the blessing circle. I don't know. I'm a little different in that sense too, I think. And obviously when it comes to an actual blessing and when you have to have the priesthood, there's a different element to it. But for me, anybody who's had the priesthood at some point in their life and they still have the priesthood, they're invited. I mean, in this situation, this is more do I invite my friend or not? It's TV. It's TV. It's not, that's just not, I mean, and our people nowadays is boundaries a huge thing. Yeah. I've had my fair share of people put up boundaries, right? But this isn't necessarily indicative of what the church is teaching us to do.
Utah is land of the Mormon bar, which are all the soda shops that we have.
There's truth to that.
We don't drink alcohol or do drugs, and so it's kind of our vice.
Yep.
My soda order is very specific. I'm gonna do a
shout out to my brother who's just
spider.
opened 2 swigs.
Did you want that with sparkling or flat water?
Sparkling, please.
Sparkling water.
44-ounce sparkling water with sugar-free coconut, sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free raspberry, sugar-free pineapple, and coconut
That is
cream.
a crazy drink,
Chef's
by the way.
kiss.
That's just
I
dumb.
do with Bloody Wild.
I don't know. That's just so much crap.
Cream.
I don't know.
6 out of the 7 days of the week, I'm having at least one 44-ounce soda.
Yes, a 44 ounce, and I drink it in an hour. I'm probably only going to live to 50, but makes me happy.
No, there's a lady who lived till she was 107 drinking Dr. Pepper. So, this is such a hot topic all the time. And again, is there a good response? I don't know. The reality is, like, someone like me who has a history of addiction in my family, ADHD, drinking certain things is probably not a smart idea. And that's how I feel like the word of wisdom works for me, right? Am I somewhat addicted to caffeine or soda? Maybe. Is it hindering me from having a good life? No. So I choose to do that. Could alcohol hinder me from having a good life? Yes.
I feel like I've never met someone who loves me more than him. And I honestly don't feel like...
But Jen, you got married at like 20.
This guy.
100%, but I just...
Kind of the theme with our church, though, and like kind of what the problem is.
Exactly.
Everyone's getting married before their brains even develop.
Exactly.
So we don't want you to feel trapped because you're not just because you have kids with him. Like, that's such a taboo thing that's out the window.
Oh, this needs like an hour to discussion.
And all the things, you deserve that.
The more I learn about Zach, I do think he falls into a stereotypical Mormon. He makes the decisions, he dominates the relationship, and he calls the shots. And I think he would be perfectly happy if Jen followed his every move and didn't have a personality of her own. All of us.
Zach. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to begin. I honestly think we could discuss him and his demeanor and who he is, like dissect him for hours upon hours. Yes, he is absolutely some kind of representation of what I think religious men in general can be like, not necessarily just Mormon men or LDS men. It made me honestly sick to watch him on television. It was just, he is everything that I hate about Mormon men and LDS men and religious men. Oh, the patriarchy, the control, him doing the gambling and then getting mad at her for being at Chippendales or whatever it was. It's like, and it is why my friends have left the church. It's people like him are just the epitome of what is wrong with religious men and have been for hundreds of thousands of years. This is what's also annoying about this. This is not new. This is not just the LDS church. This is all men who have a desire for some kind of control. They enjoy religion because it's a way for them to do that. So I do think that men and women in general need to work better as a counterpart to each other. And I think the church is trying to do that more. But there is a natural man inside of all of us, and with men being in control, having the say, not listening to women, it happens. And it happens in the church.